We doing all right on the kicks this show.
No, hey, look at you. I know what you looking at.
Pocket
I'm a pocket watcher now.
Boy, you are
Look at them chains now.
watcher, man.
Don't you can't tuck them in.
Hey, you know you from Cali, man. He gonna tuck mine.
You can't tuck his like red on Friday. You can't tuck those.
Yeah, he's big pieces.
Debo gonna see them.
Man,
Hold up, limitless. Niggas to me, got pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, got me up. On the mission, got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. Only vision I can trust. Limitless. Niggas to me, got pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant.
Jack Jones, man, welcome to the show. This is Fred Taylor. This is Shannon Crowd. I'm Ryan Clark, the Pivot fam. Thank you for pivoting with us. This one, super cool for me, man. Jordan adores you. You know, man, just his opportunity to play with you at ASU, watch you every day. You know, he used to be like, Pop, sometimes Jack, he don't even use the right foot to break. You know what I mean? Like, he just always talked about, man, how talented you are. Obviously, me and Antonio Pierce, are really close. He has a great affinity for you. I actually got to go to the BET Awards, right? And Snoop got the Icon Award, right? That is someone who was close to you or someone you were around growing up, played in the league, obviously there at the same high school, was able to see you. What's it like, man, growing up in Cali, having somebody like Snoop give back to the community the way he does and to be a part of that?
I think that was a good thing. I was one of those guys who played in the Snoop Youth Football League. He had shouted it out at the BET Awards, so when he shouted it out, you know, I felt that. But I think Snoop helped out a lot of guys, you know, when he said, I think he said 49 was the number, 49 guys that made it to the NFL, you know, that's big, you know, because he changing a lot of kids' life, and he doing it in a tough/rough area, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, without that, I mean, I don't know what it'll look like. And then you got an icon like Snoop who's face all over the internet, face all over your phone, you know what I'm saying? And he's right there, you know, you can go up, talk to him at the games, you know, he's cool, he's approachable. So it's like, for you to have that, for me to have that, it was a blessing, you know what I'm saying? And now that I'm older, I see that looking back, you know, I don't take that for granted.
Like you say, having that OG that can watch out for you, but you kind of said it, but how getting out of there, but also getting the mindset out of there. Because when you look at your story, you got some stuff. I got locked up 4 times. Like, it is what it is. But just getting out of that mindset of coming from nothing and moving to something and having somebody like Snoop, but just having a bigger picture about yourself.
You got people like Snoop in your life that's gonna be the example, but it's honestly up to you to make the decision, you know, which way you wanna go, because, you know, nobody's controlling the decisions you make behind closed doors. So I think it was me, man. I just locked in and I just made the decision, like, you know, this is what I wanna do, you know, this is the direction I wanna go, and I don't wanna be a street dude, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying, and I wanna play football.
Long Beach probably has a long list of legendary guys that have made it to the big level. Like, trying to avoid the pitfalls of being on the streets, like looking at those guys, how did that motivate or influence you to kind of steer clear in the positive direction?
I had a great example before my time, and it's my uncle, you know what I'm saying? I kept hearing stories about my uncle, like crazy stories, like, man, your uncle was the best football player to ever touch Polly. Man, your uncle was better than you. Man, you can't even see your uncle. Your uncle had offered, you know what I'm saying? I'm hearing stories like that all the time. So, but they, at the same time, they telling me these stories, they like, you know, but your uncle chose this route. Don't be like your uncle. Look, then I got friends that, you know what I'm saying, that's doing that. So it's like, that's also another example. But I would really say my uncle, man, I kept hearing it from a young age, like, don't be like your uncle, you know what I'm saying? So I just try to keep my head straight.
Right.
Jack, before you got to ASU, in between leaving USC, what was that time for you, and kind of how difficult was it to take care of yourself while waiting for that next opportunity?
It was tough. It was tough because I never been in a situation like that. Obviously, I come from rough times, Long Beach and all that stuff, but, you know, when I hit high school, and really got to playing football, you know, I started to get noticed pretty quick. So, you know, I started to rise pretty quick. So when I got to SC, in my head, I was on top of the world, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it all ended quick. And I don't know, that JUCO situation, it just, I don't know, it humbled me, you know what I'm saying? It humbled me, it made me open my eyes, like this is a privilege, and it can be taken away any moment.
What was that time like, though, in between being kicked out of USC and going to ASU? Like, how difficult was it?
It was tough because I got kicked out, and when I got kicked out, like I said, I was on top, and now when I had to go back home, that's where the decisions start to come in, you know what I'm saying, the decision-making, and in my head, you know what I'm saying, I just always thought, like, you know, my parents, we got 4 kids, so I don't want to say we're struggling, but we're not in the best situation, and I know that. So it was like, for me to have this opportunity and then blow it on my own, it was just like, I just kind of felt like I couldn't go home. Like, and obviously my pops, my moms, they never said, nah, you can't come home. But I was just feeling like, man, I didn't want to be that dude to go home because they expected me as a child to go out and take advantage of this opportunity that I had, and I didn't. So, but that's why I say it was tough, man. I made that bad decision, and it almost cost me my career.
Jack, we've talked on this show a few times about Power 5 versus HBCUs. Like, you went to the best of the best. You were 5-star. You went to USC.
Yeah.
Like, the facilities probably don't get any better across, you know, Power 5 schools. But then you were humbled and had to go to Moore Park College.
Yeah.
Right? Not even HBCU. It's like right there, like almost out of football.
Yeah.
Like, how humbling was that? Like, describe for us, like, the facilities, the differences.
No, it was really humbling because I couldn't play football at JUCO. I was straight school. I had went through that little case situation, so I'm walking around school with an ankle monitor on, and I'm class to class, study hall to study hall, and back to my home. That's all it was, but the reason I couldn't play football in JUCO is because they said, you can't play 2 years of Division I football and play your third at a JUCO and then go to the NFL. It was some rule like that.
Right.
So I just had to sit out that year, get my academics right, and you know, call AP, you know. Yeah, that happened.
I want to ask about that, man. Antonio Pierce, like, we had him on the show. He's one of my closest friends. Like, he is what you see, right? That's who AP is. What was that phone call like, though, when you guys started to discuss you becoming a part of ASU under Herm Edwards?
He asked me where I was at. He was like, so where you at? Like, what you doing? You know, situation and everything. And I told him the whole situation. I'm like, it's done. I'm handling it. And I told him I'm in school right now. And then he connected me with like an academic advisor at ASU. Ever since then, I just been calling the academic advisor back and forth, like, yo, am I on track for this? I'm on track for that, because at first I was going to Houston. You know, I thought I was going to Houston. I was talking to the coach, and then one day he called me. He was like, yo, we checked the transcripts, and I guess something don't match up, or you don't have the credit, something. And then I called AP, and then, you know, ever since then I was back and forth with the academic coach, and, you know, made sure I was doing what I was supposed to.
But through all of that, did you ever lose hope?
Oh, for sure.
Cause it seems like a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Of that, and this, you ain't even make it to the league yet.
Yeah,
you at 18, like, bro, football might not be the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
when did you lose hope, and what were some of those down times like?
Honestly, when I went to jail, man, when I sat in that cell, I told myself, I was like, man, it's over. Like, I thought it was done. I don't know. I ain't got no quit in me, man. But I ain't gonna act like I did it myself, because it was times, and I had conversations with, you know, some of my peers, some of my friends, like, man, I think I'm done with football. You know, I got a good circle of good friends around me, and they'll cut that out quick. What you mean you done with football? Nah, bro, you ain't done with football. You gonna keep going. Don't quit on it. And that's all it really took for me, because it was like, I didn't want to quit, but I just had it in the back of my head. I'm like, damn, it's over. I was telling myself negative thoughts, but I didn't let it get to me, though.
Jack, that was the time that you were without a team, and this is where you are now. You are a free agent in the NFL. You're with the Raiders, cut right before OTAs. What are your thoughts now, right? When you wake up in the morning, you know you don't have a team. When you go get on the grind, what's your motivation and what's driving you every day to still put in that work?
I would say the last situation I've been through, the JUCO, you know, the ASU, all that stuff, you know, that just kind of molded me. Like, I don't even know what that is. I just can't quit. Like, hypothetically, God forbid, say I don't get a call, you know, I'm still not gonna stop. I'm still gonna keep working out, still try to get on the team, go play UFL, XFL, whatever the case may be, and just keep working until I get another shot in the NFL. But I'm gonna keep playing football as long as my legs work.
Jack, man, I want to take it to a happier time, man. Let's go back to Christmas 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? We in Kansas City, playing against the almighty Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs. Honestly, man, it's the play and the day that got Antonio Pierce the head coaching job. Bro, you get the pick you're running, Patrick Mahomes is kind of chasing you, and you just eyeballing him. Take me through that whole sequence, man, and when you're running back to the end zone, dog, like what is your thought?
So on a play he rolled out, I seen him roll out, and then if you watch the replay, he kind of like floated the ball, like I don't know, it wasn't enough heat, and in my head when I seen it, I'm like, oh, it's mine, and I grabbed it. When I grabbed it, I was looking at him like, don't catch me, but then once I got past him, I did want to say like, you can't fuck with me, like, you know what I'm saying? I want to pop my stuff, but I'm like, I had too much respect for him, you know what I'm saying? Like that's Patrick Mahomes, like one of the greatest quarterbacks, so it was like, it was just a stare down, like, yeah, I'm here, you know what I'm saying?
But your rookie year, didn't you have a pick six off of Aaron Rodgers too?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
Like, what was that moment like? Did you feel the same?
No, on that one, I was more so trying to prove myself, man. That was like a prove-it game. I was in New England. That was my first time starting. I was just locked in. I don't know. And I remember it was a play before that. He had ran like a fire out, and I seen it. And I was like, man, I could have picked that. Like, let me go get that next time. And then that next time came up, and I went and got it, you know what I'm saying? But nah, with the A-Rod one, I ain't think nothing like that. I was just hungry.
Jack, none of those plays got to be more fun, though, than the screen. Who was the screen against?
I was Chargers.
Right, you playing the Chargers, right? You clearly you knew what was coming.
Yeah.
But like the thing I say always separates like the good players, and you know, he's a great player. He'll be a Hall of Famer one day. The good players and the great players is the willingness to believe what they see.
Yeah.
Jack, you were so far in the backfield on the screen, you had to turn around basically.
Yeah, I almost overran it.
You almost, like how you overrun a ball that's 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage at corner, I don't know. Bro, like what coverage were you in and what tipped you off that was gonna be the play?
What tipped me off was the motion in.
Right.
When I seen the motion in, I was like, I gotta go get it. But what allowed me to go get it was cover 2, you know what I'm saying? Because if it was in cover 3, even man-to-man,
deep part
I doubt I would have jumped it like that, you know what I'm saying? But when it was cover 2, I had a safety over top, I seen the motion out from in, I'm like, yeah, that's me. I gotta go get that. But I was doing it so quick though, like you say. And that's why I caught it with one hand. I didn't catch it with one hand intentionally. Like, I almost overran it and I just had to reach back and grab it and just kept going.
Man, listening to these plays, bro, you know, picked off, pick 6, A-Rod, pick 6, Mahomes, all that stuff, bro. Picking off screens, overrunning the screen, which is crazy. I gotta go watch that play. I ain't seen that one, I ain't gonna lie. What's stopping you from being on the team? Why did 2 teams now say, I can't be there? What do you need to improve on?
And that's a good question. I'm glad you asked that so I could express myself. It's me, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing else. Like I said before, you know, playing in the NFL is a privilege. And if you don't take advantage of the privilege, then you're gonna lose that privilege, you know, in a heartbeat. And you know, for all the young guys that's out there watching, I hope they use me, as an example. Like this could be going in a heartbeat, no matter how good you are, how talented you are. But man, I just can't wait to prove myself, you know, looking forward to the next team. Like I said, I'm working out every day, just going hard, man, just ready to prove myself and show that I am who I say I am, and I'm not who they think I am.
But you talking about on the field, you can do it all.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You talking about you got it. You need somebody to believe in you off the field as well.
But I gotta show before you believe. So that's me taking that step, and I'm gonna take that step. I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
I see similar characteristics in AP, who I love to death.
Yeah.
Like just playing against him, competitor, seeing him coach, you know, rooting for him to be successful there, looking for an opportunity as well. Do you think him being there gave you more of a chance to kind of grow, you know, to become the person you are? Tell us a little bit about you guys' relationship and what he truly means to you.
First of all, let me shout out Coach Kim, Monica Kim, and let me shout out Antonio Pierce, Coach Pierce. Without them two, you know, this whole thing probably wouldn't even be possible. You know, Coach Kim was the head of it all. You know, you see AP face because, you know, he's the head coach, but, you know, without Coach Kim, you know, AP probably wouldn't even know who I am, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Coach Kim, but AP, nah, man, he helped me out through it all. You know, I remember one of the first conversations we had, I was playing DB, you know, this was high school. We came in my junior year. I was playing DB. My sophomore year, I played safety. I was about like 140, soaking wet. You know what I'm saying? That's safety, but I'm flying around making plays. But when he seen me, though, he was like, man, you're not no corner, you're a receiver. But the way he said it, and me being young, where I'm from, I'm like, what? Like,
right.
Man, you don't know who you talking to. Like, But he changed my position and he changed my life because that's where all my offers came from. And to be honest, I love receiver, you know what I'm saying? That was one of the positions, but I had moved back to DB because it was honestly a battle between me and AP. Like, nah, bro, I'm a DB. I'm gonna show you that I'm a DB, you know what I'm saying? Like, but nah, AP mean the world to me, man. And I'm forever appreciative. I appreciate him, you know what I'm saying, and everything he done. And he know what he means to me, you know what I'm saying? And I thank him for everything.
You know, Jordan talks about it, AP talks about it. Like, you are a football player.
Yeah.
The way you see the game, the way you see life, all of those things are the sort of mentalities that make you a 5-star, that put you on the field early at USC, that allow you to transfer to Arizona State and make plays. Like, we just had a running conversation about your NFL pick sixes. You know, I put myself on blast. I ain't got one. You know what I mean? I played 13 years. Like, you are a special football player. You know, you mentioned it was you, right? You were the reason. Why should somebody believe that this special football player that's always made plays, that off the field stuff has made him switch teams, why is somebody to believe that you can change that and you will change that?
It's the day-to-day. It's about being consistent. I be consistent by showing up and proving that, you know what I'm saying? I could sit here and tell you I'm gonna be perfect all day. I could sit here and tell you I'm gonna go 10 for 10 always, but you know, without the work, without the effort, without the consistency, then it's all talk. You know, I'm gonna just show up and prove it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever team need a corner, gonna give me an opportunity, I'm gonna show up and prove it every day. You know, I'm gonna be the best guy on the field, and I'm gonna be the best guy in the film room.
I love that. When you look back at sort of the things that made you the way you are, right? Being from where you're from in California, like, we know gang experiences are high there, right? Gang activity is high there. We know that those are places that you can get caught up in the things around you and the things that you see. What was it that allowed you to avoid those things and continue playing football at a high level like you have?
I would say football. Football and the friends you keep, man. That's a real quote, you know. You show me your friends, I'll show you your future, you know. That's a real thing. The friends I was with in high school, you know, we was all ball. We all wanted the same thing. We was all chasing the same thing, so we would all go work out every day. We working out every day. We just chasing football. If I was with my homies that was in the streets and it was dibbling back and forth, then I probably wouldn't be here. But, you know, like I said, I made up my mind, and I hung out with the right guys, and we got to work.
I was supposed to get drafted first round. I was an All-American.
Yeah.
But I wasn't an All-American after practice ended.
Yeah.
God, really, in UF Gainesville, they locked me up, assault and all this. So I was a fighter.
Yeah.
Somebody say something crazy. I was from Atlanta. You called me a bitch. You got to get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Now it's a 41
like
year.
California.
Yeah, California thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing. And I told the NFL coaches, I was at the combine. They kind of asked me, "Yeah, why are you getting arrested so much?" I said, "Coach, I can't deal with disrespect." And through time now, being 41, now I've been retired 12 years. So now I understand at 41, I understand what 21-year-old me was thinking.
Yeah.
And I wish I could go talk to him. What would you say to yourself 7, 8 years ago? Could you really address yourself? Because the trouble you talking about and the things that go and the Wikipedia stuff and the records, that shit's always gonna be on wax.
Yeah.
What would you go back and tell yourself? And what are those? I know I had an anger management problem, and I know now they can call me a bitch all day, and I walk away smiling. You a bitch. Have a good one, Freddie. Yeah. I ain't gonna jump on him. But at 18, 19, I'm gonna jump on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you talk about, like, growing, if you go back and talk to your 18-year-old self, how could you, and to be honest, how can these teams know that you have grown now?
It's bigger than me, man. I got kids depending on me, man. I got my girl depending on me. I got family members depending on me, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I would just emphasize that it's bigger than me. And once you take I out of the equation, you know, that make you go so much harder for other people, for your loved ones.
You were drafted to a Belichick-led team.
Yeah.
What did you learn from that experience? Because that's a place where discipline is important. That's a place where being on time is important. That's a place where being accountable is important. Freddie T says it all the time, you know, do business as being done. Was there anything that you can go back to that experience and say, okay, going forward, some of those things I learned could help me from a guy like a Bill Belichick?
First of all, man, I appreciate Bill, man, and I thank Bill for, you know, taking the opportunity on me. But, man, I just was young, man. I wasn't carrying myself right about the building. I don't know, just the discipline level of it just taught me, like, the stuff that's going on outside of the building, you can't bring it to the building. And I was honestly, my first couple of years, I was having troubles with that. I was having problems with that because it was like, I'm a dude who I'm gonna wear it on my sleeve. If I'm mad, you're gonna see that. You know, I learned from that situation, but I definitely learned from there. It's like the stuff that happened outside is outside, and the stuff that happened inside is inside, you know what I'm saying? But that's just like the going with your quote, like, handle business as being done, you know, and you ain't got no girlfriend up at that building, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You ain't got no kids at that building, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got family members at that building. When you go up there, it's football and it's friends. And that's what I learned. I also learned ball too, though, because Bill Belichick and that whole program or whatever, they taught me ball, man. They taught me ball. Just going from ASU to New England, man, I learned a lot of football, and I think that's why I was able to have such a good year my rookie year, because I learned a lot from Bill and Mike and New England.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I learned that quote from Bill in year 12 when I was a free agent in my time in New England, and I just embraced it all. But as you are, the NFL is a business, right? And as you're sitting there waiting for another opportunity, doing business as it's being done, what are you doing to, one, stay focused on that, but also to keep yourself busy with maybe something else that you have a passion for? Like, I think music is a big thing.
Yeah, a little bit of music, man. I go to the studio a little bit, but I don't release no songs. That's just, I just go to the
It be therapy.
Yeah, that's it. Just go to the studio, just hang out, make a song or something. But for the most part, man, I play the game, man. I get on the game, play Call of Duty, play NCAA, play Madden, play something, you know what I'm saying? But that's my getaway zone, man. I go and play the game, stay out the streets, stay from outside, I'm in the house with my girl, my son, and I'm just on the game.
You playing the guitar and the piano, or you got bars?
Nah, I'm more of a rapper, but I ain't no rapper though.
Hey, I ain't a rapper. But he's not a rapper.
Yeah.
We all come from these different places. When people are from New Orleans, they're very passionate about what New Orleans is and about what having the area code 504 means, right? Where he's from, Belglades, right? They're very passionate about who they are. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta's not really as much, but like Atlanta as well.
What did you just say about Atlanta?
No, I'm just joking. Atlanta as well. When you think about the culture of LA, when you think about the sort of people that have made it out, then also too, man, some of the greats from LA that we've lost too soon, right? What is it that you're proud of about where you're from?
From Long Beach. I'm proud of my city that made me. I don't know. Proud of everything. I appreciate everything, because without that journey, then I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't have that dog I got in me today. I wouldn't have that fight, that relentlessness. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I appreciate Long Beach for everything, man. For the relationships I had back at home, for the teachers that said hurtful things to me. You know what I'm saying? And I really don't mean this in no envious way. Like, I really mean, I appreciate that, because without that, then I wouldn't have made it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I still do think about some of the stuff that I was told back in high school, good and bad, like, you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate the whole thing, man. I'm really blessed to be in this situation, coming where I'm coming from, to have the relationships that I got, man. And I appreciate it all, man. But I love my city. It's on me forever, and I'm a forever rebel.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's dope, man. It was obviously Snoop first for a kid from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Like, Snoop was like the first time I ever heard of Long Beach.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest. And then it continues to grow, and it's become, especially Long Beach Poly, back, a few years ago, the sort of football players that they were putting out, right? What they do in college, guys going to the league. If you weren't doing football, what would and where would Jack Jones be? You said that football is what kept you from the rest of it, right? That passion. So what would you be doing if you didn't have football?
I don't even want to put it on camera. You know what I'm saying? It's football. That's what I am. I'm a football player. I don't want to talk about what could have been or if it didn't happen. And I hate that, man. It's football, man. And I've been playing football since I could walk. It was no other sport, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't soccer, baseball, basketball, track and field. Never ran track and field. It was football. I played football. Football wasn't in season. We outside in the field playing football with some friends. That stuff ain't, you know what I'm saying? That stuff for the birds.
That's honestly, man, there's no better answer than that, bro.
Yeah.
There is no better answer.
RC speaks about his plan A or not having the plan B because he's so tied into plan A, which I think is great.
Yeah.
But I do want to ask you, because of, having been released and now waiting for another opportunity, going back to the situation from USC, having to go to JUCO, do you think that prepared you for, what you're going through or experiencing now as you wait for another opportunity? I'm talking about in terms of masking or minimizing the frustrations, understanding the patience game, and just continue to stay focused, steering clear of trouble so you can get that shot.
Absolutely, because I continuously tell myself to this day, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna keep telling myself, like, I've been here before and I ain't breaking, I ain't gonna break now, you know what I'm saying? So one foot in front of the other, keep working, and when that call happened, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, I don't wanna be looking up just trying to what if, and, cause it's too much hope, and that had your heart beating fast, you know what I'm saying? Too much anxiety, you know what I'm saying? Just one foot in front of the other, man. Just keep working, head down, work. That call gonna happen when it happens, God's timing.
And the silver lining is, I just met you say your son was like a year and a half?
Yeah.
He gonna be causing hell in about another 6 to 8 months in the cabinets and everything. The silver lining though, the opportunity to spend more time at home, you want to be in OTAs and all that different stuff. I get it, but there's always a positive in these sort of moments. Like, talk to us about, that, seeing him grow and being there right now.
Nah, it is a positive being around my son, because if I wasn't at the house, then I'd be at football practice or OTAs, you know what I'm saying, working out for however many hours. But we understand, me and my girl, like, it's ball, you know what I'm saying? So ball first. I ain't gonna say ball first because it's family first, but we understand it's ball, and ball is what's gonna take care of us, you know what I'm saying? So, but nah, it's good to see my son, man, but I'm definitely still working out. We gotta go work out, you know what I'm saying? You gotta get that hour in a day, you know what I'm saying? But it's definitely good to see my son a lot more than what I was seeing him during the season.
Right.
As you watch games, and as you really, I don't even grow, but really get older, watch football, watch people getting drafted and all that.
Yeah.
You really have a gift.
He does.
Are you starting to appreciate that gift more? Because I'll be honest, I don't think I appreciated my gifts like I should have early in my career. Do you appreciate, honestly, you work for some, but God gave you some of them. Are you appreciating those gifts now? If you can watch people play and you can see folks that got jobs, that I would say I didn't have a job, and I was still better than some of the motherfuckers out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But not you, but did you appreciate those gifts, and are you starting to look at it differently?
I definitely do, but I also feel like at the same time I'm shorting myself, because when I'm training in the off season, it's no DB work. I don't have a DB trainer. Like, I ain't never had a DB trainer my whole life. It's just stay in shape, you know what I'm saying? However, I gotta stay in shape, but I think once I find a coach, find somebody solid in the off season, we can spend however many weeks together, then I think I'd be taking full advantage of my talent, but definitely I do appreciate it though.
I know you live here,
Yeah.
but I'll be in Arizona from June until training camp every week, 2 days a week, Monday and Thursday.
I'm gonna be out there. I gotta go home and see my daughter for about 2 weeks, and I'm gonna leave and go back to Arizona probably like beginning of July, end of June.
What's your best 40 ever?
My best 40?
Yeah.
4.5.
What
Yeah,
you
I ran 4.5. I was hurt.
He just look a little quicker than you.
He's way quicker than me.
If you can get your feet work into them legs,
Yeah, he's way quicker.
I think we got action.
But I tell you what I do know how to do though. Because I wasn't fast, I know how to get it and I know how to coach it.
Yes.
Yeah. So now hit me up. We can do that. I do want to ask this though, man. It's pretty cool transition. He asked you about being able to spend more time with your son. I'm obviously going to be in Arizona because I'll be training Jordan and all the people who are working out there. It's June, it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. It's also Father's Day.
Yeah.
You seem to be really dialed in. You just said, you talked about having your son, but go and see your daughter. When you think about the type of father you want to be, what do you want those kids to see in you?
I want them to see me and say, Daddy never quit. Life gonna get hard, but I think that you need to go through them hard times to get to where you wanna go, because it's like, wherever you're trying to go is precious. And for you to have something precious, you gotta go through something hard, or because anything that's worth having is not easy, you know what I'm saying? So, Daddy never quit. And if Daddy never quit, then I don't never need to quit. I'm gonna make sure my kids grow up different, you know what I'm saying, around a lot more money than I grew up around, but it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be handouts. I just wanna instill that in my kids, that life is hard, and when the hard times come, you can't quit. You gotta go harder.
You look at where you are now. You have made more plays than many people who are in mini camps these weeks. You started more games than many people who have helmets and roster spots. When you think about the way you'll enter the building with your next opportunity, what do you think is most important to show that next coach, that next organization, that next locker room?
That I'm here for ball, and all the outside noise that I'm pretty sure they hearing, the Jack is hanging out with the wrong group, Jack don't always make the right decisions, I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna prove that wrong, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show up, like I say, show up every day, go to work, put on my hard hat, close my mouth and just get to work. The next team I go to, whatever team it is, I don't expect them to be like, yo, Jack, you made X amount of plays, you're a starter. Nah, man, start me with the fourth group, with the last group. I'll work my way up. That ain't nothing to me. I'm cool with proving myself, but just give me a chance to prove myself, because I'm willing to prove myself and do it every day.
You seem different, right? And I can be honest, like, we didn't talk a lot when you were in school. I don't know a ton about you personally other than what people have told me, but, you had being kicked out of USC, right? You had being in a jail cell, right? You had not getting your transcripts right for Houston. Like, it's been adversity, Jack. Like, you've been faced with not having football before. And the conventional mind would say all of those things didn't necessarily change decision making. What is it about, whether it's you right now or the situation you're in right now, that has you speaking with such clarity that the next time will be so different for you?
Because I went through what I went through. If I wouldn't have went through what I went through, then I probably wouldn't be talking this confident, you know what I'm saying? But I went through what I went through, and man, it really made me open my eyes like that. This is a privilege, and it could be taken away anytime. And if this is something that I say I want, I gotta prove that I want it by showing up, being consistent, doing what I'm supposed to, doing what I'm asked to do, you know what I'm saying, and doing it at a high level.
But you are your resume. Back to what I was saying, bro. I was a problem.
Yeah.
I was a problem.
Yeah.
You're your resume.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But your resume has some hellified ups.
Man, highlights.
Hellified ups,
Highlights.
bro. But those downs are what you're fighting, to be honest. I'll be honest with you as a unk.
Yeah.
Those downs are what you're fighting, kind of along that line of Ryan, where teams want to figure out why those lows come and address them. You had to address those things. I just partied. I was a partier, and they knew it. Everybody went around, drafted me. They knew crowd was gonna go out. Crowd was gonna party and all that stuff. So that's the kind of the transition of it. Are the kids the reason to change? What's that reason for your change? Because that's what you need, is those lows on the resume. There has to be a reason for a transition.
Like I say, my kids, family member, girls, they counting on me, and me wanting to play football. And if I lose football, then I'm losing what I want, and I'm hurting my family members who count on me, you know what I'm saying? So, I gotta change. I don't have no choice but to change, and if I don't change, then I'm gonna be doing stuff I don't wanna do, you know what I'm saying? Working out for a team I might not wanna play for. It's just about, like I say, putting the next foot in front of the other, keeping a good mindset, and keep going. And I'm here today. thinking with this positive mindset because I've been through it before, and I know how to handle it. I know where to go when I need this help. I know where to go when I need this help. I got people in my corner, my girl. I got help from people, and I just need to start reaching out, and that's what I learned.
Who do you talk to, Jack? Like when you mentioned bringing the outside stuff into the building,
Yeah.
or whatever it was that caused tension in Las Vegas, is there a person or are there people that you could get on the phone with and say, hey man, this is what I'm going through, how would you handle it? This is what I'm going through, what decisions should I make? Because we talk about it on this show all the time, bro. Like, our careers, our lives, whatever it is, like, they aren't this linear transfer of experiences that you don't need other people's help, right? Do you have people that you feel like you could lean on when you get in these times where things could seem overwhelming?
Absolutely. Some of the people I named earlier, Coach Kim, AP, I called TJ Houshmandzadeh. Those some of the main three that I called. Like, you know, when I got a question about whatever it may be, you know, most of the stuff is football, but you know, whatever it may be, I call them like no hesitation. You know, they pick up the phone. If not, they'll call me right back. But those the people I run to, and they've been helping me out a lot.
I'm a tattoo man, right? Like, I get some tats, we all are, obviously, and some are more meaningful than others.
Yeah.
I see NFL right there on your knuckle.
Yeah.
I was trying to make out what it says below that. But I see Jackie.
Yeah.
I see MLK over there.
Yeah.
Is that a Jack?
Yeah, that's a Jack card.
Oh, the Jack card right there. Like, give me a story behind, like, your most meaningful piece of art.
I go through some of them. The NFL one is just never forget loyalty. That's why I got that, you know what I'm saying? It's just the loyal ones who've been loyal to me, you know, I never forget about them, and I always got them, you know, even if it seemed like we ain't talking every day, I'm still here, you know what I'm saying? But then this right here is, this is my grandma's name, my grandma Jackie, and her favorite color is yellow, so I got a sunflower. And then I got my mom on the inside, my guardian angel, and I just got a crown, got the city right here. And then MLK, I just got that just young.
Hey, my man went through all the tattoos. He got to like an historical civil rights activist, and he goes, I just got that one. I was young.
Look at this one.
The no fear with the tribal is terrible.
Tribal ring. That was the young dumb shit for me.
Stripper mode.
Who does that? That was my
tat.
stripper tattoo. That's why I keep my sleeve.
Man, how old were you when you did that?
I was 18.
First one?
It was close.
Man.
Yeah, that just there alone is crazy. That right? A naked arm was just that.
No, but Jack, just
You might as well get a belly button tattoo.
right around the sunflower.
Get that freaky Z, that Zion.
Jack, some stood out to me, man. You spoke about loyalty.
Yeah.
Right, and as a young guy, you know, we want to make sure we remember where we come from.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people that have taken chances on us coming up, you say, I got you.
Yeah.
You know, but you also got to find a balance so that you don't put yourself in the negative, where you're underwater.
Yeah.
Now, speak to that, you know, that loyalty theme to make sure that, yeah, I got you, but there's a thin line. Like, I can't have you bringing issues my way.
Yeah.
So we got to play each other at a distance, because I got to be right. Because if you crack the piggy bank, then we lose everything.
Nah, yeah, well, I talk to my homies about that all the time, man. And my homies is smart enough to understand the situation that I'm in. They smart enough to see that the situation that I went through last time was eating me, and I don't want to go through that no more. So when we go out or anything like that, we get together, and I don't hang out with a bad group of guys. Like, the friends I hang out with, they don't have no criminal record. Like, so I'm gonna just put that there. Like,
right.
But when we go out though, it's don't start nothing, it won't be nothing. We don't plan on finishing nothing. We can always walk away. And I tell them out my mouth, you know what I'm saying? This is me talking. I said, bro, if we get into a fight and we go and beat this dude up, who face gonna be on the news? This gonna be yours or it's gonna be mine?
Right.
And so it's like, come on, bro. It's like, we all love each other here, so it's like, do something for your loved one and just, you know what I'm saying, calm down when we go out. And
Yeah, I asked that because I know we have a lot of impressionable young guys that aspire to be where we all are watching the show. And they get lost in that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta be here, I gotta look out for the hood, I gotta look out for my people, but there's a way to do it.
Nah, yeah,
so that's
I'm
why.
strict with mine. Ain't no knuckleheads with me.
Right,
I ain't gonna lie. Ain't anybody who wanna quote unquote crash out, yeah, you crash out by yourself. We ain't crashing out over here, you know what I'm saying?
Crash out.
Yeah, we just trying to have fun, you know what I'm saying? Get back home safe to our babies, you know what I'm saying? But
Have you had to cut anybody off though?
oh,
Jack?
absolutely.
Yeah, like make smart decisions.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it come with a heartbeat, and it come like it's like I love you, but at the same time, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you trying to tear me down. You know what I'm saying? But and I can't have that because, like I say, it's bigger than me. I got people, babies, family members counting on me, and I cut somebody off in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying?
That's smart though, man.
Yeah, no, so I was trying to lay up for the biggest pivot question. And we always ask our guests on the show, what's their biggest pivot in life?
Yeah.
That's that one moment you can look back on and say, because of this happening or without this happening to me or for me, I wouldn't be who I am today.
I'd probably say sitting in that jail cell, man. Sitting in that jail cell, going through that time, having to do that time. Man, that was rough, man. That was rough without that, because it was that in that moment right there, it felt like football was gone. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was no football at all. It was, I wasn't gonna play another snap, like, you know what I'm saying? And I was in JUCO, so I couldn't play football too, so it was really tough. But that moment right there, I would say that was my pivot in life, where it was a wake-up call, like, which way you wanna go? You wanna go left or you wanna go right, you know what I'm saying? So.
Crazy how God works, ain't it?
Yeah.
Boy.
Absolutely, man.
I'm glad we got to sit down and have the conversation. Before we even did it, I was hoping, one, that you were as open about things as you were, and that I'd learn and that other people get an opportunity to learn how much you've actually grown. And from me, for sure, and I know from both of them, like, we're just praying you get another opportunity. And honestly, I'm praying that you get to show everyone that whoever makes that decision, they were right to give you another chance, man. But happy Father's Day to you, bro. Appreciate you coming. Your baby's outside, you know what I'm saying? Your girl as well, man. But best of luck, man. I'll see you in AZ.
Can I hold your baby?
No.
Bro. So, no, they had a baby on set.
Look at you like,
They had a baby on set one time, right, Jack? And he kept saying, no, I'm gonna make the baby be quiet. Man, he held that baby, the baby down there.
Baby went crazy.
When he held the baby.
Hold up, limitless. Take a stomach, got a pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up. On the mission got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. On this vision, I can trust. Limitless. Take a stomach, got a pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up.